Guess what kicks off in 68 days, making it nice, but not quite nice enough because you can't wine dine in 68, can you, Tom?
Well, you can. It takes less time.
Interesting. It's WrestleMania 39, everybody. Wine dine WrestleMania 39. Myself and Tom here, we are here to predict the card of not just night one, but also night two of WrestleMania 39. But we're not going to try and list the cards as we think they'll appear on each night. We've just got the matches written down here. We'll try and predict what match will be in that match slot, if that makes sense.
It's what we want to happen.
It's what we think will happen. It's a different series, Tom. We're going to kick things off with the Kickoff Show. Do you have any Kickoff Show matches?
I've got 3 Kickoff matches.
It's controversial because last year, of course, painfully so, last year's WrestleMania had no Kickoff Show matches at all.
It needs Kickoff matches.
We had to sit there and listen to Jake Paul. Who the hell wants to do that? Apart from millions and billions of children around the world.
Is that the same Kickoff Show where they listed Madcap Moss as the winner of the Andrew the Giant Battle Royal?
Probably, yeah.
Yes.
That rings a bell. Who have you got in your Kickoff Show matches?
Okay, I've got 3. So I've got a tag match, Johnny Gargano and Dexter Lumis versus The Miz and Bronson Reed.
Pay me.
Yeah, tie all that off in a nice bow. Gargano, Lumis win. Bronson beats up The Miz after. There we go. And Bronson can go and do his own thing post-Mania.
In his hometown-ish, because he's an actor type, you know.
All the more reason. He's from there. Should we do either two?
Go on, then you might as well.
We've got to stick the armbar in there. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, won by Angelo Dawkins.
Oh, it's a sleeper pick.
Because I want this to be the inception of the Dawkins-Ford split. Yeah. With Dawkins being the big I am about winning the armbar, and eventually him and Ford come to loggerheads about it. That's it.
On the ropes.
Yes.
Tell a head rush there, bloody hell.
And I've got a women's battle royal in there as well, but not the equivalent of armbar. Right, WrestleMania 15. It did this awful thing, and I don't know why I really like it. They had a battle royal beforehand on Sunday Night Heat, whereby the final 2 got a shot at Jeff Jarrett and Owen Hart. I want to do that for the women's tag titles.
So Sonny's coming back.
Yes! What a dream. But I'm predicting that it come down to like 4, Nikki Cross, Doudrop and 2 others. But as Cross and Doudrop are just battering each other, the other 2 send themselves over the top rope. So that as they're fighting, they're split. I go, no, you've got to be friends now, and you'll challenge for the women's tag titles.
I've seen why you've gone for this as well, because how can they coexist? That's the question nobody ever asks.
How can they coexist with Rob and Maggie? How can they coexist?
So there you go, that's yours done.
Those are my 3 Kickoff Shows.
Delightful. I'm going straight in there with 2 battle royals because I like the arm bars in the ladies' version being on the Kickoff Show. First of all, I need to say that the winner of each battle royal gets a future title shot. Don't think that's always made clear, is it? You know,
they never make it clear. You just win a lovely trophy.
Yeah, just have a nice moment on the night, as we all do when we go out and wine dine in WrestleMania 39. But for the men's, I'm going for Otis, who's been naturally over the last few weeks turning himself babyface. The Caterpillar's come back in. He's just been a wholesome boy, and crowds around America are getting on board with that. So let's get right on the Otis train once again. And then, because I don't think she's ready, right, for the main card, I'm going to put her on the Kickoff Show, Raquel Rodriguez. Continue that push, but not so quickly that she's in a title match already at WrestleMania 39. Maybe by WrestleMania 40, she's got more of a character than just smiley lady with muscular back. Because that's all she is now at the moment, isn't she?
I mean, they've done more with less.
Yeah. Well, they have, but I want them to do more with more.
Yes.
And wait some time. But also, I want a shock appearance from John Cena live from his house in the Beverly Hills.
Do you want him like in the distance, like the wall on Nitro that time, just doing that? It's John Cena! Hello!
But John Cena, while he's at his house here, live at his house, is saying, I can't be there tonight. I'm promoting some sort of film. I don't know what film it could be. It could be anything. It could be The Peacemaker, The Painmaker, The Rainmaker. Okada's there. I don't know. But he's there saying, I can't be there, blah, blah, blah. Then he's ambushed in his own house by Austin Theory, which sets up on WrestleMania Night 1 a match that we'll get onto a bit later on. But we have next in our little categories as they're listed here, Tom, the women's tag team titles. Who are you going for in that one?
Well, mine's already been etched in stone. Damage Control versus Nikki Cross and Doudrop. By virtue of them winning the utter bollocks women's battle royal. 2 challengers get a title shot. How do they coexist? The Damage Control, they try and win Nikki's favour once again, because obviously there's a little kinship there. However, Doudrop's Scottish connection snaps Nikki out of that trance. Together, they do coexist with Rob and Maggie, and they win the tag titles.
There's Bucky all over the ring. Yeah, we're all going mad.
Buck's fast Buck for Doudrop and Nikki Cross. And they win the titles following on Raw after Mania. Toxic Attraction turn up.
Yeah, they were in my head for this match, I have to say.
I nearly put them down.
I think it's time for Toxic Attraction on the main roster without Mandy being there. Poor old Mandy. Well, she's doing all right, isn't she? Millionaire now. Well,
I think she's doing just fine.
But I'm also going for Damage Control versus Shayna and Ronda.
Ooh.
Because I think Ronda noted somewhere on social media not too long ago that she's going for the tag team titles. I don't know how long ago that was, but I saw it with my own eyes today, so I'm going to go for it now. And because I couldn't fit Ronda in any championship picture, and nor do I think she deserves to be there this year, I think she's had a pretty bad year by her high standards of 2018 and 2019, so she's getting put in the women's tag team picture.
How low do we think the women's tag titles are? She's had an awful year. We all hate her. She's going to slum it in a championship match.
But to be
the
fair,
women's tag team championship.
To be fair, it's not quite the Raw and SmackDown women's titles.
It's not.
It's a little step
it
down.
It says everything that it's considered such a low ebb.
But I must say that the partnership of Shayna and Ronda, when it's been used properly on SmackDown, they look good. It's like a modern day Brothers of Destruction.
Ooh.
Sisters of Submission.
Sisters of Distraction.
The submissions, no. Men's tag team titles there, Tom.
This seems obvious to me. Usos defending against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
I thought that as well.
Ideally on night 2, Owens and Zayn at their absolute best. It's got to end with Sami Zayn haluva kicking Jey Uso 10 times in a row. Like all that frustration because then you can spiral it off into having matches with Jey Uso and Sami Zayn. But it's got to be Sami that gets the 3. It's got to be Sami and Owens that take their first tag titles on WWE.
Well, I see your obvious pick, and I raise you a really left field one, because I think before WrestleMania 39 comes around, we'll have 2 sets of tag team titles in the WWE once again. I think tonight on Raw Triple X, KO could potentially cost the Usos, therefore they lose the titles to the Judgment Day, because I'm of the opinion that if the Usos lose the titles before Roman potentially loses a title, that dilutes Roman's title loss a little bit. You know what I mean? That sort of vibe. So I'm going to have the Usos drop the tag team titles before WrestleMania 39 to the Judgment Day, who will employ, I should say, the Freebird rule, because Dom might be busy elsewhere on my WrestleMania card. So heading into WrestleMania, it'll be Finn and Damien with the Raw Tag Team titles, and they'll take on the Street Profits and the Hurt Business in a triple threat tag team matchup.
Nice.
I think the Hurt Business are getting back together. We're sat here on whatever this date is right now, but it's just... What is the date? It's Monday. Happy Monday.
It's a Monday flavoured Monday. I think it's Monday the 23rd.
It's the Triple X Raw Day.
Because Pablo's got the vets for the 24th, which is a Tuesday.
How's his leg? Is he okay?
He's fine now. He was limping the other day.
Yeah.
He's fine. He was just showing off.
He did the shooting star press off the top rope. It was gnarly. And then for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, we have a family affair, because I've got the Banger Bros, as they like to call themselves, because they are like enough the porn.
Very, very dangerous.
Versus the Brawling Brutes, Sheamus's children.
Yeah.
So they'll be like jealous children. You took me dad away from me, they'll say. And then Drew will be like, I'll turn the weens against ye, Sheamus.
Oh, so who's turning the weens against who? So is the Brutes kicking Sheamus out?
No, Sheamus has gone off with this new fancy man called Drew, and the weens are getting jealous. That's the story there.
I see. So they're
family
all still
feud
together, but they're just sort of letting off some steam.
Yeah, and they'll just batter each other for 10 minutes. It'll be a very nice WrestleMania
I like
match.
how you've done that.
Thank you very much, Tom.
Very nice, that.
Next category down the list is the celebrity matches. It doesn't have a limit on how many celebrity matches you want. You can have as many as your heart desires. How many have you got there, Tom?
I've just got the one. I've gone boring with Logan Paul versus John Cena.
Oh.
I think that's just that match that you could put on Good Morning America, stuff that TMZ and People magazine can run with. Just a little something to shine a bit more of a Hollywoody light on night 2. Because there will be another light shone on night 1 for Hollywood. And Logan Paul wants it. I think it's it's not. Is it something that's going to build towards something great in WWE's future? Nah, it's just a moment in time, but we can afford it because we've got a nice mixture of stuff that builds for wrestling's future. Chuck in Logan Paul and John Cena in an exhibition. Do it, you cowards.
It's going to make headlines, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
And so far, Logan Paul said he wants something, and he's bloody got it, hasn't he? Mm-hmm. And fair play to the man. He's good at wrestling, isn't he? My first celebrity matchup is Logan and Jake Paul versus the Usos.
Ooh!
I think the seeds were sown for this match at Crown Jewel. Was it called Crown Jewel, the one where Logan took on Roman and the Usos battered Logan's little friends? Wow. Little Michael and Jimmy, I don't know what they're called.
Jake Paul came out like Steve Austin.
And there's been other little references here and there that Jake Paul will get involved in WWE at some point, and I think it could be WrestleMania 39 where he teams with Logan to take on the Usos in a match that doesn't need titles.
No, it doesn't need titles.
Headline maker. And then, in a bit of a left field one, I've gone for Zac Efron as Kevin Von Erich versus The Miz
Wow!
Because remember, arse end of last year, Zac Efron, who's a famous acting man, he was playing the part of Kevin Von Erich in the Von Erichs thingy that they're making. The real Kevin Von Erich, who lives in a tree, remember, he really liked Zac Efron's portrayal of himself, looking all muscular and with his bowl haircut and all that sort of stuff. To get him involved with The Miz, who thinks he's an actor but isn't quite an actor, not as much as an actor as Zac Efron. That's Ted Bundy, for goodness sake.
Oh. I love that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to retroactively put Zac Efron ringside during the pre-show and have him slap The Miz during his tag match. That's my Zac Efron involvement.
Actor jealousy.
Yes.
US title is next, Tom. Who you got?
We need some over-the-top WrestleMania-shaped nonsense. So Austin Theory is defending it against Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, Dominic Mysterio, Damian Priest, and Dolph Ziggler in a ladder match.
Oh, you filthy boy.
Possible night one opener.
Yeah.
Wild ladder bollocks. Judgment Day having two guys in there, but with the goal being to get the ball to Tucker, to get Dominic the title. Like, that's Damian Priest's one goal, is to get the belt on Dominic.
I thought the actual Tucker was coming back from heavy machinery.
If only. Get the ball to Tucker. Rey Mysterio does a little run in to stop Dom picking up the win. I think Theory will end up leaving with the belt, adds a little bit of swagger to his step to go, I beat the entire division in one night. You know, AJ coming back by now will be good. Dolph Ziggler is good for like the spots and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think Theory would just be, it is pomp if he wins such a match. What have you got?
I've got Seth Rollins, who I think somehow walks into WrestleMania as the US champion once again. I think Bobby might beat Austin Theory on Raw Triple X tonight, and I think Rollins might get it off Bobby somehow. I've got no idea, but he takes on LA Knight, who will return to Monday Night Raw after being demolished and scarred for life by Bray Wyatt and/or Uncle Howdy and/or Alexa Bliss and/or Uncle Howie and/or other of the puppets and all that sort of stuff at the Royal Rumble event. I don't want it to happen, but it's what I think will happen. He'll get demolished so bad, he'll have some sort of scarring upon his physical body or inside the membrane, and he'll go to Raw. And imagine the promos building up to that WrestleMania. In LA, isn't it? Remember? So you've got to have LA Knight there in some form or fashion. Him versus Rollins, just a couple of big show-offs going at it toe-to-toe.
Wow, that's a nice idea.
Thank you. Shame about the execution. I don't know why I said that. It was a pre-Evo line from back in the day. Nice idea there. Shame about the execution.
A crunching tackle. That was a studs-off tackle if ever I saw one.
That's all of them, yes. What's next, Tom?
It's England with the throw. The Intercontinental Championship on the line. I'm rolling it back to Cardiff. Give me Gunter and Sheamus again.
I wouldn't mind that.
You cowards! Like, they smashed the bejesus out of each other in Cardiff. Every match they've had has been a banger. I think this is the night as well that you give Sheamus his IC title. It's the only belt he's never won. Do it at Mania. Let them roll back and have a smasher, and then have Sheamus win the whole thing. That'd be nice.
Him and Drew can go and do some things on a bus.
They can do.
Or in a fake taxi. Is that the same company? I've got no idea.
It's worrying how similar all of these things are to existing adult IPs that I don't know anything about. Who have you got for the Intercontinental title?
You liar. I'm going for Gunter versus Sami Zayn with Kevin Owens in Sami Zayn's corner. I've said it many times on this channel, on many videos. I'm of the opinion that they need to go for Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns and Sami take down Roman Reigns and take the titles. I think the storyline's been built up that way. I think the investment's there from the people around the world in Sami Zayn. So I'm with me head here, I don't think they're going to do that. So if Sami can't have the big one, let's have the next biggest one, which would be ending Gunter's IC title reign and getting a big pop for that.
Oh, I see. It's a shame, because it's a shame that we're all in that mindset of like, we kind of know that Sami Zayn's going to be the bridesmaid in all of this and not the bride. And we're sort of set on it, so we're trying to find ways to kind of give him the best consolation prize we can, both in your booking and in mine.
Yeah.
You can't beat Roman. I've got a little something for Sami later on, but you can't beat Roman, but you can do the best thing and win a belt.
You can do a little something here and there. Next up, we have what we call the card filler matches. No disrespect meant by that title. It's just the matches elsewhere on the card that we're putting up in one little bow. Again, no limits on how many you can have on this one. How many you got there?
I've got 3 here.
I've got 4. Oh. Yes, 4. Is it 5? It's 4. 3, 5. One of them is outrageous.
All right, should I do mine first?
Go on, then off we go.
Okay, I've got Spooky Bollocks between Bray Wyatt and Drew McIntyre.
Oh!
Wyatt and Uncle Howdy beat LA Knight. in a similar fashion to what you say, like to the point where we don't really see him again for a while. Drew McIntyre starts to get chased around by Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy. We get some spooky nonsense. Wyatt wins. The Funhouse puppets appear at the end. I've written here, after the match, all the Funhouse puppets appear in the crowd and put Bray Wyatt in a bag and beat him with hammers.
Wow.
I don't quite know where we take it from there.
Happy WrestleMania, everyone.
Happy WrestleMania, everyone. I don't know where we're going with that story, but certainly Drew and Bray to have an involvement. Maybe maybe LA Knight is under the Rambling Rabbit mask.
Oh, don't even.
Oh, and this is where we start unveiling who they all are. The rubber match between Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
They've had 2. They've been quite fun. A 3rd should be good fun as well. I would like Lashley to tap out Lesnar.
That would be good, wouldn't it?
Because I think, again, building towards the future, Lesnar will not be damaged by losing to Bobby.
Yeah.
Bobby will gain everything from tapping Lesnar.
I forgot about those 2 previous matches. It's not on my card. I wish it was. It makes complete sense.
And then the 3rd one I've got, Edge and Finn Balor tying up their bit of business inside a Hell in a Cell.
I forgot about that news piece as well.
Yeah. It's a bit of gold. That feels like with Edge potentially coming back at the Rumble, we'll have a little something at Elimination Chamber, then we'll go, right, let's get this business with the Judgment Day done and dusted inside of the Devil's Favourite structure. Edge loves finishing a storyline inside a Hell in a Cell, so let's do it with Balor, because I think they'll have an absolute belter of a time.
They will.
Finn belter.
I am full of regret right now.
Come on, give us your fillers.
First card
All
filler
killer.
match is Ray versus Dom. I've written down, you could have a stipulation like mask versus hair or mask versus prison privileges. Because I think that this could be the passing of the torch moment where Ray is kind of put into retirement. He gets the sort of Mick Foley, schedule. Like he comes back when the storyline necessitates.
Didn't we predict this in a previous Predicting WrestleMania? A Ray versus Dom passing of the torch match.
It's time now, isn't it?
Is it now time?
We've got it set up now. We're just waiting for Ray and Dom to hit the ball out the park.
Do it as a jailhouse match, a la Bossman Mountie at SummerSlam.
Bunkhouse Brawl.
Oh.
Yes, Kevin Nash. Then we have Austin Theory versus John Cena in that LA Street Fight, as I mentioned earlier. We've had Theory dropping a couple of hints to John Cena saying the champ is here and stuff like that. Apparently the shot's up to John Cena's house. Theory was there doing some sort of thing for the company, so that's where that one comes from. That's based in reality. Hopefully it comes true.
So do you have it so the match is booked on the night?
I was going to set it up on the pre-show there with John Cena doing some sort of live satellite. I can't be there, but I wish I was. Watch my film. And then he gets attacked in his own home by Theory, setting up the match for later in the night. Then we've got Uncle Howdy versus Bray Wyatt. Because it would be fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It'd be really fun.
I'm trying to think how you do it. You could either do it as some fun and have it's like Bo Dallas, presumably as Uncle Howdy, fighting Bray Wyatt, or alternatively, look up the Monty Python sketch between Colin Bomber Harris, where a man wrestles himself.
Oh, God. No, I'm not predicting that.
I'm predicting that, and that'd be great.
I'm predicting a 5-star classic from Uncle Howdy wearing his coat and his hat, which never comes off his head. But I'm picturing as well, that could set up brace yourselves, everybody. A Macho Man and Elizabeth-like reunion between Bray and Alexa.
Ooh.
Maybe Howdy keeps her hostage for a little while. Not.
So maybe Howdy is sort of. Maybe Bray is sort of the key to getting Alexa away from Howdy. Yeah. Howdy's like, hey, she's my girl. And Bray's like, my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Howdy's like, oh, I don't believe she wants to be with a gentleman. And he's like,
she likes my arthritis in the
my arthritis.
Oh, yeah, boy.
I do declare.
Right, and now I've got to admit, I saw a few names on the roster that I hadn't assigned matches to, so I've thrown them in there in such a panic. The first one is we're running things back to 2002, the match we never got, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Brock Lesnar.
You're just lobbing that in there at WrestleMania.
LA! Anything can happen in the city of dreams. And then we also have Becky Lynch, who dropped a couple of references on last week's Monday Night Raw, so the Raw before WrestleMania XXX. She was talking about the 4 Horsewomen, how people were moaning and complaining when they didn't get their own way in those 4 Horsewomen. Was she talking about Charlotte? Was she talking about somebody else? I'm going to place my bet, hedge my bets on her talking about that other person called Mercedes Moné.
Oh!
Do I think that one match could happen? Yeah, why not? Stranger things have happened. AEW's Cody Rhodes rocked up in WWE this time last year. I know he was out of contract and all that sort of stuff and not affiliated with AEW, but I reckon Money could get back in there.
So hang on. Come back.
I forgot about Becky Lynch. Next up, we've got the SmackDown Women's title picture.
Can I just check? Are you predicting that Becky, that Sasha's coming back as Sasha, or as Mercedes Minnie?
Minnie. Because we need to get that WrestleMania ramp walk with the Minnie.
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 Okay. I mean, as you say, stranger things have happened.
I can't think of one for Becky Lynch. I'm intrigued to see what you've got because no doubt it's just going to go, oh yeah, I should have picked that one in my brain.
Okay, I've gone for something that Michael Cole will continuously hype as the biggest rematch in modern WrestleMania history. Let's roll it back. Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey.
I was going to do that at one point.
Roll it back because again, Becky's finished up a feud with Bayley. I've not got Bayley on this show. I did toy with the idea of making it a 4-way and chucking Bayley in there. I've changed my mind. I think I'll just have Bayley ringside for the damage control.
The camera's going to run out, Tom. The camera's back on there, Tom.
Hey! Now, I think that Bayley will just ringside for damage control. I think we keep it as a triple threat. Have the match they were supposed to have, because obviously that match finished early due to some silliness with the finish, a slightly botched finish. I think have Becky win it again. Why not? I think then you can maybe do Becky Charlotte big match for WrestleMania Backlash if you wanted. There's a lot of heat there that you could certainly build upon. It moves Becky over to SmackDown once again if they so wanted to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I got for the SmackDown women's title. What about you? Oh, no.
Charlotte Flair versus Bloodline Naomi.
Oh, he's done it.
Bloodline Naomi could return, maybe in my own head at least, at the Royal Rumble in 2023.
Wow.
Build to a WrestleMania match against Charlotte, who I'm not going to lie to you, I looked at the roster, I was like, who the hell is she going to face? She's beaten everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Bloodline Naomi, it will have a very different vibe, and coming out of WrestleMania, this is in my head anyway, there'd be an interesting dynamic between maybe Naomi holding a title and Roman not holding a title and the Usos not holding a title. So she could be the new tribal chief.
She could take over as tribal chief.
Exactly.
Right steps away. There's a little tease for your final booking there as well, which is nice to see.
Next up, we have the Raw Women's title, Tom.
All right, this one seems fairly obvious. I think we go Bianca Belair defending against Rhea Ripley. Ripley to win the Rumble. Honestly, Ripley's got to win the Rumble.
Read out what I've got written down there in my slot.
Oh, exactly the same.
Yeah.
Bianca versus Women's Royal Rumble winner Rhea Ripley. It writes itself.
It does.
I say like Ripley at her best here. Bianca though is a fighting champion right to the end. Dom gets involved to cost her the match. I think it could be a case of something. It could be something as Dominic tries to do a run in. Bianca gives him a KOD. Shut up, you weird little man. And then Rhea rocks her with the Riptide 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Picks up the win that way.
Can't disagree with you there. Just Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair is a match I want to, especially with the new characters. Well, Rhea's new character as the big, strong goth mammy type, and obviously Bianca Belair in her role. I just think it's a match that is a WrestleMania caliber main event-ish.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
And finally, we have the uwu picture. Roman Reigns. What's he doing at WrestleMania 39 there, Tom?
I couldn't pick a match for him, so he's doing double duty over 2 nights.
Same. I might as well put that in there now. Double duty over the 2 nights.
Oh, interesting though. Interesting. We've gone the opposite.
Oh,
we've gone a slightly different route. Let me talk you through my weekend for Roman.
I see.
It's a bittersweet weekend. So Roman Reigns versus The Rock is night 1. Undisputed title on the line. Great banger of a match, but with help from the Bloodline, Roman Reigns beats The Rock.
Yeah.
And ends the night with both belts. The second night, battered up, but ready to go for the next night. Early in the night, the Usos lose the tag titles, so he's in a foul old mood. Cody Rhodes in the main event. It looks as if Roman's going to beat him again. There's shenanigans from the Bloodline. Jey Uso tries to get a cheap shot in. Sami Zayn runs in during the main to give Jey Uso one haluva kick for good measure. You know what? Sami gives Roman a haluva kick as well, and everybody goes wild. With that pop still resonating from Sami Zayn clattering Roman Reigns, Cody hits the crossroads. 1, 2, 3. New undisputed WWE Universal Champion in Cody Rhodes. Fireworks in America all the way.
Hot dogs.
So Roman survives night 1, but doesn't make it through night 2. And the best thing about that is, in my opinion, is that should they want to do rematches when he's back, he's got legit beef. Like, well, I faced flipping Rock the night before. Of course I was paggered, and Sami kicked me. Yeah, I want a fair fight now. So you've got a little something in the back pocket, should you want to run it back.
Yes, right. Raw XXX tonight. The Bloodline have said every generation of the Bloodline will be joining them for this Acknowledge Me ceremony. I do acknowledge you, I do declare. They're all going to say to Roman Reigns. So I think The Rock will appear on Raw XXXXXXXXXX. I think he will appear. And I think on night one of WrestleMania 39, Cody Rhodes will defeat Roman Reigns in a fashion that brings out The Rock, who's been teased to be there but hasn't been on the show as of yet. And he's like, Roman, you've gone slack, young boy. You wouldn't have made that mistake a year ago. What's wrong with you? He says something along those lines. And to prove, I think you've gone a bit soft there, young boy, I'm going to take you on WrestleMania Night 2 for that big red one on your shoulder. Not the blue one. No, he's lost the blue one. No, he's lost the red one.
Lost the red one.
No, he's lost the blue one. I'll fight you for the black one. Because the blue and black aren't it? We'll get there in the end, Tom. So I'm going to face you for the big black one, the WWE title. So, WrestleMania 39 Night 2, it's The Rock versus Roman Reigns for the WWE title, and The Rock bloody wins it, because I think that's what's going to happen, not what I want to happen.
So The Rock wins the other belt off him.
And Roman is title-less. I mean, me personally, I would like Reigns to get to 1,000 days after that idea was floated around last week on our podcast, but if it can't happen, which I don't think it will do, because as we all know, I don't think that's going to change with the new regime, that they're not going to turn down a headline, are they? So I think Rock with the title, headlines everywhere. So I think The Rock will be challenged, or will be.
I tell you, I see that. What dates does he have to hit to reach 1,000 days?
It's in November, was it? I can't quite remember.
Is it November?
Yeah, something like it's a fair bit away. But I think it's doable. And I think the way Reigns has been presented, I don't think people will be sick of him by then either. So they're headlines. They're going to go for the TMZ, aren't they? They're going to go for the.
Well, that's it. I think having Rock in the match I'd hope they'd go, well, that's enough for the headlines.
Yeah.
Like the Rock's in the match. But you're right in the sense that there's a big difference between page 3 of the New York Times and front page of the New York Times.
Yeah.
And it probably is in The Rock holding up the WWE title.
Wow.
10 years on from his last reign.
There you go. It writes itself. A lovely 10-year bookend on those latter 2 title reigns. Exactly. So there we have it. The same thing we've done there, but in different ways. Let us know your WrestleMania 39 cards from top to bottom in the comments down below, and we might even comment and tell you how wrong you are, right? Because you're going to tell us how wrong we are. You're going to watch it in several months and laugh at us. We'll come back and look at your comments and laugh at you. How would you like that, eh?
Yeah.
Fight and talk. I'll face you at WrestleMania. Why not?
I know, your dad. You watch out.
Look at this. This is the real banger, bros.
Yeah. Get on that bang bus, Ross.
Yes. Bye.